God as a vengeful Greek image. It's us. Do they love God? Is God a part of their lives? And the answer, unfortunately, probably comes up negative. What's the opposite of love? The opposite of love is we shall be judged according to our love.
Beautiful.
And I think this is where the problem is. The person who just casts away all this, and no, it's negative, we're not going to think about death. Do they love God? Is God a part of their lives? And the answer, unfortunately, probably comes up negative.
Maybe we try to live as if God did not exist, death didn't exist, and we can pull away in between so that without thinking about eternity, we can just live the way we are.
Or we can have a trickster type situation where we can kind of trick God and we can just sort of get away with what we're doing.
And it's very nice because actually, as God is love, and He is our creator, He also created us for love. So this is the real meaning of the human life, is to love.
Yes.
So this is why we are on earth, to practice this love in order to be loved in heaven by God for all eternity. So our life on earth takes its meaning out of love. So if we don't love, then of course we are going to have the opposite.
It's going to be the privation of love.
The privation of, which is terrible.
Which is hell.
Which is hell.
Right. And that's an important element also when we start going through the Catholic position concerning these four important elements, is that it's not God as a vengeful Greek image. It's us. Mm-hmm. We're that horrible, vengeful creature inflicting our own evil on everything else. We're destroying God's creation.
Absolutely.
We're evil. We're the evil here. God is the one being put in this position, being offended by our actions.
And you know that you see this in human relations, because sometimes somebody loves another person, and this other person, because he's not good, he doesn't retribute this love. So the person A is very much, he suffers, hurt, because his love is not being retributed. So, because he was born to love this person, and this person doesn't love him. So
what's the opposite of love? Some may say it's hatred, but St. Thomas says that hatred is a twisted form of love. The opposite of love is indifference, because from indifference we are the furthest point from love. We are distancing ourselves from love. We are actually, there is no path back.
Exactly. It's rejection, because love is union, and the opposite is separation, is going away.
But also there's no interest. With indifference, there is no interest. Hatred, the person still has this element where they're connected to.
Of course.
Right? They're filled with, they had love for, now they have hatred of, but they're still raging against that same item, be it a truth, be it the church, would be it a person, but they're still, their life revolves around that element.
Yeah.
But indifference, there's no interest. They're done. They're away.
But perhaps it is a way of living without thinking about God, knowing that death exists, and yet, you try not, basically it's trying to find a third way in which you can live as if nothing happened, nothing has consequences, and in the end of the story, we ignore everything, and like living without God, and death is no consequence.
I think Father used that phrase from Ben Chirac about the remember your four last things and you'll never sin. The philosophers had a twist on that, which was a life that is not examined is not worth living. I think we can combine those two together, saying if we don't examine ourselves and our lives, and in that process think about where we're going to finally end, it's not worth living. Absolutely. Because we're going to crash and burn in hell and be separated from the very source of love, the very source of our reason of existence for all eternity.
Exactly, because when you are created to love God,
yes,
to be indifferent to God, that's hell. because your whole being wants to love Him, and at the same time you're being you yourself you're rejecting God.
The human person is made in search of God. If they know it or they don't, it's besides the point. Now you reject your purpose, and you're eternally frustrated.
Precisely.
Doesn't matter how much other things you do, you're frustrated because that end is never going to be met.